Yeah. You have anything else? What are we on? Almost about an
Yeah,
hour here.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I love what you said there, Scott. And I mean, it's not so far-fetched to see in this world, in this reality field that we've been living in, that is beginning to change, that there is manipulation, there is lies, there is this thing to hide things from us, and there's not just one tangible thing for this. It's everywhere. You can go to every continent. Man, the Grand Canyon in America, I'll throw that out there. There's stuff going on in there. Who built these ancient structures, Atlantis, Lemuria, these ancient times, these previous cycles. They try and fit it all into a narrative and a mainstream narrative. And it's breaking down in front of in our reality at the moment, because it isn't true. And we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And now people are realizing this. Their mainstream timeline, like 12,000 years ago, this is breaking down. Tebeki Tepe is a prime example of that. That predates any of it. And that's when it was buried, not when it was created. It already predates it. And they're saying on Neanderthals just all come together randomly and started creating these huge. And we've only seen like 1% of it. When you get into the radar, the thing's huge. Just a load of Neanderthals come together one day and went, you know what, let's build this perfect structure in line with the stars and tell this ancient story with these 50 to 70 ton stones, because they had nothing better to do back then. There was no TV. So what else are you going to do? I mean, it's ridiculous. The same as Stonehenge and stuff like this. Now we know that a lot of these stones come from Wales, which I live in the UK, and I can tell you that's a hell of a trek if you're driving, let alone if you're carrying 20, 30, 40, 50 ton stones. And now it turns out some of the biggest ones come from Scotland. I mean, it's mind-blowing. I didn't think it's a load of people had nothing better to do back in the day but drag stones up and down the country, when a couple of miles away there's similar stones. Why? No, they're using certain stones in certain locations. This was a technology. It's been repurposed over time, I imagine. And yeah, it just boggles the mind when you look into this. And will I say 100% Tartaria was an empire across the world? I'm not so convinced on that. Did they exist? Probably. Were they more enlightened? Yes. Did they have these healing tempers? Did they understand the sacred geometry? Did they have some understanding of the ancient mystery teachings? Maybe they had some link to Atlantis and the hidden knowledge, the libraries of Alexandria before they were burnt and stolen by the Roman Catholic Church. Maybe they had access to some of this, some of the hidden knowledge in the pyramids. Who knows? Maybe these people were here and there. Maybe they had colonies, and it would make sense why they would be wiped out. And we look at the world when it works the way it does, 0.1% own all the profit, all the power, and they've purposely divided and conquered the human species, manipulate us through indoctrination, brainwashing with TV now, medicines make us sick to lower our consciousness, spray stuff from the skies, So it's this far-fetched that they gained from all this. If all this knowledge was known, so they had a hell of a reason to cover it up. And we know enough, some brutal things have gone on. We know that, from even in our time, right now, I'm not on the side of Gaza or Palestine. All I'll say is bombing kids and starving people to death is disgusting. Shouldn't be going on, and that's happening now. Can you imagine the stuff that went on when there wasn't this media? There was less control. These bloodline families, these so-called kings and royal bloodlines, the ancient bloodlines had total control. All they'd have to do is wipe people out. So, yeah, I think fascinating rabbit hole. I mean, I've